What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Again, same outfit. 3 videos recorded in a row. 3 videos in 3 days. Possibly 5 videos in 5 days. Because this is going up on Saturday. This is going up before WrestleMania. WrestleMania is tonight. Today is Saturday by the time you see this. But I want to talk about some news that was just announced here on Wednesday as I sit and record this video. At the time of recording, 7 hours ago, AEW announced they are going to be running Dynamite Grand Slam from Arena Mexico this year in June, and they also announced ahead of Forbidden Door at the O2, which they announced it was a big announcement. It was on all of the billboards around Wembley last year that they were doing Forbidden Door at the O2. I guess they've just not promoted it since, maybe. But they were like, "Oh, breaking news! We're going to the O2," and I was like, "Oh, I already knew that." They're also going to be doing Dynamite and Collision from Glasgow. I will be there. I will be there. I can promise you that. I will be there. I'll have a Willow Nightingale tee. I don't own one. I will have one. But I'm here to talk mostly about the announcement of Grand Slam Mexico coming from the iconic, the incredible, the legendary, the historic Arena Mexico. And if we look at the poster, 2 of those faces are not from AEW. If we look at this poster down at the main 2 on the poster are of course Kenny Omega and Mystico from CMLL. And if we look down the front, we've got Commander, we've got Will Ospreay, we've got Hologram, and then next to Hologram, we've got Mascara Dorada, also from CMLL. And this show obviously will be run in conjunction with CMLL down in Mexico. Now, I'm not here to make a 10-minute video based on one poster. I'm not here to make a 10-minute video based on the fact that we've got this thing coming out, and then also that Dynamite is going to be in Glasgow. There's not enough content to make that video. Realistically, I'm kind of stretching at making this video anyway. However, I'm a big fan of this. I'm a big fan of using the sort of Grand Slam moniker to kind of have these bigger shows and hold these bigger shows in countries that we didn't usually see. Obviously, Grand Slam has always been like a big episode of Dynamite. Obviously, the first few Grand Slams were held at Arthur Ashe Indoor Tennis Stadium in New York. Obviously, the first Grand Slam, I believe, the very first Grand Slam, the first match on Grand Slam was Danielson versus Kenny Omega. Just a fucking crazy match. You know, we had Eddie Kingston overcoming Claudio to win that ROH World Championship in his hometown of New York. We had the All-Star Tag match at Grand Slam Australia this year with the Proto-Star Kyle Fletcher, say his name, and Konosuke Takeshita versus Omega and Ospreay. You know, the Grand Slam matches, or the Grand Slam cards, are put on to just be these big spectacle dynamites, and I'm a big fan of this. And I think taking Grand Slam International and taking Grand Slam to these places where we have, you know, working relationships with these companies, also AEW have a working relationship with CML and with New Japan, you know, these Grand Slam shows, they're going to make people tune in, and they are a good idea going forward. And as well, treating this as a big spectacle showcase co-promoted with CMLL. Also, a couple months before Forbidden Door as well, CMLL are also involved with New Japan and obviously with AEW for this. You know, maybe get some names. If there's a big enough reaction, get these guys over to London. You know, I'd love to see Mascara Dorada on that show. He has been impressing the hell out of me this last couple of years. Past few months especially, my Mascara Dorada stocks have gone up huge. Generally, I think it's a good idea, and if you remember, long-time viewers of this channel will know I did interview Bryce Remsburg on this channel years ago. We had a good chat. It was a lot of fun. Shout out Bryce. He said this kind of over COVID times. He said, you know, a big thing with AEW is they want to get global. They want to go to all these places, and they don't just want to come and do, you know, little shows to just do a show. Just say, oh, hey, we went to this country to do a show. They want to put on, you know, TV, and they want to show the world what's going on. They also want to expose the wrestling from these places to the world, and I'm very happy to see that. But where do we go next for Grand Slam? Surely it's Grand Slam Japan. Surely it's Grand Slam Japan. I also wouldn't mind the return to Arthur Ashe. I think Arthur Ashe shows were always incredible, and the spirit, shall we say, the atmosphere inside that venue was always fucking incredible. And I'm excited. I like seeing AEW take these risks. I like seeing AEW put these dynamics on from sort of more interesting venues. Obviously did the shows in the Hammerstein, but Arena Mexico, man, doing this in Arena Mexico is going to be huge, and it's only a few months away. It's only, you know, 2 months away from this show in Arena Mexico, and I'm very excited for that. It's on my mom's birthday. Shout out. So I'm very interested to see what we're going to get on that show, but with it being so close, I'm also very interested, you know, what are the stories we're going to build for that? Because Grand Slam Australia was kind of essentially treated like, you know, another big show, with the stories kind of all leading towards that a little bit. It was kind of more of a pit stop towards Revolution, but we had stories going to that and intertwining to get there as like as a main stop on that road. We only have 2 months left, you know, and also conspicuous in his absence from this is the world champion. We do not have Jon Moxley on this poster, and I absolutely do not want to see Jon Moxley beat Mystico in the in the main event to a chorus of boos. I would have loved to have seen Jon Moxley wrestle Mystico last summer. I don't want to see this current version of Jon Moxley wrestle Mystico. I also don't want to see Chris Jericho wrestle Mystico. I remember him trying to take La Mystica. It made me really sad. But no, in general, I think it's a really good step forward. I think it's a really positive outlook and way we can use the Grand Slam shows going forward, because maybe we can do this in future with promotions in other companies. They don't need to be major promotions. They don't need to be a CMLL or a New Japan or a DDT. Maybe we can do this, you know, Grand Slam Germany with Dub X Dub. Or we can do Grand Slam England with Rev Pro. Or even go back to Australia and have some PWA guys on the show. Like put Chevs on one of these shows if we do Grand Slam in Australia again, you know. Making the most of these companies around the world. They don't, like I say, need to be the major companies. You can do this with the sort of higher profile indie companies to kind of, I don't want to say essentially co-promote a show, because realistically AEW is the draw of that. But if you run guys from these companies, you put more of a light on the local scene in these companies. And again, would love to see AEW go back to the 16-foot ring just for virgins to lose their fucking mind again. Overall, I think this is a really positive and really fun announcement. Arena Mexico, I love watching professional wrestling in Arena Mexico. I want to see Kemonito on this show. In fact, I need to see Kemonito on this show. Kemonito is my favourite. I love CMLL. Me encanta la lucha libre. Me encanta la lucha libre porque me encantó más Kemonito. Tony Khan, for the love of God, I went through the archives to remember my Leaving Cert Spanish, and I hope that was correct. Get Kemonito on this show. For the love of God, get Kemonito on this show. I fucking love Kemonito. Get the wrestler out there. Let's have Kemonito, Mark Briscoe, Jeff Jarrett, and the Rizzler wrestle Hechicero 4-on-1. Oh, get Hechicero on this show. Oh, fuck yeah. I'm excited for this show, if you couldn't tell. But no, going forward, to bring this rambling mess of a video to a close, I think using the Grand Slam formula and the Grand Slam name with this formula in the future is really good. Take it to a different country, you know, partner up with the local promotion, put these guys on from this promotion, and show the world more professional wrestling. Because why would we want your professional wrestling to be totally insular when you could open the doors and show everyone how cool pro wrestling is? Lucha fucking rules. Kemonito fucking rules. Get Kemonito on this show. Have Kemonito beat Jon Moxley for the World Championship. I need a photo of Willow Nightingale and Kemonito. Tony Khan, I'm on my knees. I'll get on my knees. Tony Khan, please can I have a photo of Willow Nightingale and Kemonito? That's all I'm asking. Anyway guys, that is it for me today. Let me know what you think of this down below. Is there any place that you would like to see them take Grand Slam? Any companies you would like to see go with Grand Slam? Who do you want to see from CMLL on these shows? I do not want to see Kemalito on this show. We do not fuck with Kemalito in this household. We are standing 10 toes down for Kemonito. If I see Kemalito, it's one of them. I fucking love Kemonito. But no, let me know what you think of this announcement down below. Let me know where you think you could go next. Probably Japan is the next one. But are there any more places around the world you would like to see this happen? Do you want to see them take it back to Arthur Ashe? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Share this around to all your mates and show them the handsome man on YouTube with the good wrestling opinions. Once again guys, my name is Jake. This is where I talk wrestling. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.